It is Wednesday the 12th of December 2018, and whilst the government are tearing themselves apart and Theresa May is being challenged, I've decided I can't bear watching any more of that stuff on television, so I've come down to Watergate Estate because I have a whole wodge of leaflets, that's just half of them, which need to be delivered. It's our latest Whickham Focus leaflet. I've got 370 to deliver this morning on the Watergate Estate. I'm back at the Land Rover now, 370 done, handful of spares, and they'll be used elsewhere. So I'm off home now, having just missed PMQs, hurrah, and let's see what further damage has been done to the country by this Brexit soap opera. So here I am sitting at home at it's 20 to 5 in the evening. So the Tory MPs meet at 6 o'clock, listen to what May says, and then they vote on the confidence motion between 6 and 8 o'clock, so a result is expected at 9 o'clock. So the speculation is not whether she's going to win, because I think most people expect her to win, but the issue is going to be how many MPs are going to vote against her. And I'm not going to make any predictions because everything is so febrile at the moment that my past experience of making predictions in the last 2 years is don't make them because they'll be horribly wrong. So I think what we need to do is look at whether or certainly how big the vote is against May, and that will decide whether she continues or not. Now, I would reckon that anything less than 70 votes against her, and that is pretty good for her. That's quite comfortable. And then I think you've got a grey zone between 70 and 100 votes, and at that point it doesn't really decide it anyway, and will probably keep the row running for a long time to come. And then anything over 100 votes against her, I think, really is quite damaging for her, and she'll be effectively running a government and a party where around about a third of their own MPs don't actually have any confidence in her. So that is my view as to how the possible outcomes could turn out. Of course, it changes absolutely nothing in terms of the vote on the deal, because I don't think it's changed people's minds at all. MPs, I think, will vote the same way, and it's looking very difficult for her to get the deal through. A few weeks ago I was thinking she might be able to do it because, as is often the case, a small rebellious number can grab the headlines and make it look as if they're bigger than they are. That was forever happening under the Blair and Brown governments, where a small number of MPs were making a lot of noise and everybody expected the government to be defeated, and rarely was. A bit different this time though, but a few weeks ago I was thinking you might have got some Labour, a reasonable number of Labour MPs voting for the deal. I think now that the number of people from the opposition who will vote for it are going to be much more limited in number. Not many Labour MPs. I think we've got one Lib Dem, Stephen Lloyd, who's voting for it. I think Caroline Flint from Labour is suggested as one person. But generally speaking, I think you're looking at that deal being defeated. So that doesn't change regardless of what happens tonight. My expectation is Theresa May will win, and I think she will win relatively comfortably, but as I said before, I make predictions and they become horribly out of kilter with what actually happens. We've got, let's see, 4:45 now, so we've got until 9 o'clock, and we'll know then. It's coming up to 5:30 and I've just arrived in Whickham, and we have a meeting of the Whickham Library volunteers, so I'm not sure I'm going to stay for the whole of the meeting because I've got loads to do back home. Meeting's now over. I think we're going to have a little bit of a Christmas celebration. Probably not going to stay long for that because I have an e-focus back home waiting to be sent out.
Does have confidence in Theresa May as leader of the Conservative Party. The number of votes cast in favour of having confidence in Theresa May was 200 and against was 117.
Ooh.
Under the rules set out in the constitution of the Conservative Party,
Oh, that's much more than I
thought.
I mean, she's got a third of our parliamentary party against her now. Yeah, well, that's not going to solve anything.
Nope.